All right. Good morning, everyone. Zero here. Back on my little processor thing here. In the last one, we went over the new registers, some blocks that I would like to see put into Minecraft. And then I said that I was going to start working on the ALU and the CU, which is a control unit. So, one of the most important parts of the control unit is the program counter. Now, basically, all it is, it's a binary counter, right? It just cycles through each of your memories. So that way, as one instruction is completed, you increment the program counter, and then it'll go to whatever that location is, and then pull off the next instruction or data or whatever. So, the way a binary counter works is kind of like this. So we have 8 bits, right? So when you turn 1 on, this would be a 1. These are all zeros. When you turn on 2, it's like this. When you turn on 3, it's like this. When you turn on 4, it's like this. So basically think of it like this. So 2 to the 0 is 1, right? So that's the most you can get out of this. 2 to the first power, I think, is... Hang on. That's probably a terrible way to explain it. Okay, so in this one, the most you can get is up to 1. In this line, the most that you can get up to is 3, right? Because you got 1, 2, 3, and then this one starts over, right? And then this one starts off at 4, goes to 7, this one starts off at 8, and goes to 16, this one starts at 16. Oh, sorry, this one goes to 15, this one goes to 16, all the way up to 31. The next one starts at 31, and goes up to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the basic pattern of this. This is just simple binary counter, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16. And this one is 32, and then 64, 128, and 256. Now, because we don't actually have this 9th bit here, the most that we can get with all of this is 255, but because we also count 0 as a location, that's how we get 256. And then 256 is also 2 to the 8th power, and since we have 8 binary bits, we go 2 to the number of binary bits, and that's how many possible locations you can get. So, a little bit about binary. So now I'm going to go into what took me so long to do this crap, and it just pissed me the fuck off. Yes, I censored myself there. Okay. So this is what I was originally going to go with, right? So what this one is doing is it's testing this next block here to see if it's redstone. If it's redstone, then we want to change it to quartz. And at the same time, we're seeing if this is quartz. If it is quartz, then we want to change it to redstone, right? So as this one changes and turns on, we want this one to change its state, basically, right? So that is what I was hoping that this setup would do. So we have a test for block, and then chained conditional, no redstone needed. So chain conditional, always active. And that's what I thought that I would need, right? Because it makes sense. So when this turns on, both of these run. Only one of these should be true, and then it will only run one of these commands. Yeah, that doesn't work. So you hit this, and nothing. It doesn't do anything. And I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck? Why isn't it doing anything? And the reason for, look at the time here, 7:39:01, successfully found the block. 7:39:01, same exact time. It also found this block. So it found both of these blocks in the same time that it took to activate both of these. Now, I think that it's because this one is changing the block right away, and this one is, I guess, still looking. And so when it sees the redstone, or if it is redstone, then this one says, oh, hey, check it out. We're good. And then, so then it runs this one and changes it to quartz. And then this one's looking for quartz, and by the time this one is done running, this one is still trying to run. So then it's like, oh, hey, I see quartz too, so I'm going to run mine. And it just... This gave me so many freaking headaches, you have no idea. So then I found out that you could space them out, right? So this is the way that we used to do it. You do a test for block, you run this into a comparator. This will turn true if this is activated, and then it'll activate the next block. So this one does not work. This one I have is both working and not working, but that's because this one counts backwards. So right now we're at 0. So we're at 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, 0. So let me try that again. So 3, 2, 1, 0. So it just counts backwards. So yeah, you can't really use this for the binary counter. I mean, I use it in a way over here. You can see that it's the same thing over here on this one. But this is kind of like a clock signal, I guess. And all it does is it just changes this block. So this is the first one that actually counts, and everything else is built off of this one, not this one. So that's why the rest of this stuff works. So then, I came on to this, right? Now this, okay, let me explain a little bit about this real quick. So I started off going through all this thing with the command blocks, all this crap over here that didn't work, and it was just really, really, really pissing me off. So then I actually physically, like, I just put this one in, like, before this video, but I put in another one just to see, like, what the hell I might be doing wrong here. And I noticed something. So the only time that this one changes is when this one goes from on to off, right? So that would be a negative edge. Then the only time this one changes is on the negative edge of this one. The only time this one changes is on the negative edge of this one. And so I went through and I made some negative edge detectors. Now these are, you know, pretty easy to make. Let's say that you have, oh, no, hold on, okay. So you have this, you have, I need repeater, no, repeater, dude. Okay, and then, so you take a signal, so this would be the signal, and this would be the block that I'm replacing, so then you just connect these up, right? And then, well actually I'm just gonna make this a switch to simulate it switching, so, yeah, I'll do that. Okay. And then you just run these things through like this, and then you have this torch there. Now, you notice these are the same? This switch isn't going to do anything if they're the same. So what you have to do is on the inverted side, you have to increase this by 1 tick. And then, let me see if I can get that in there. Almost there. No, now we can't see it. No, I can't see it. There we go. Okay, had to move the mic a little bit. Alright. So you can kind of see it down there in the corner. So when this thing turns off, you get a very short pulse. And when it turns on, it doesn't do anything. When you turn it off, that's when you get the short pulse. So that's what I had to do here. But this is one that I knew how to make, and it's too wide and not stackable. So I had to go through and kind of brainstorm like how to do this and make it 1 wide. So how do you get blocks to go in 2 different directions, or a signal to go in 2 different directions on the same like line of blocks here? So for this block here, this is going to change to an on. If we put this redstone here, it powers this block and then turns this guy off, so that's your inversion. And this block is also being pulled through here. And then we do the extra tick on the inverted side, and then how do you bring the blocks back together? So if you do this, so if you run a repeater into a block and you leave the space below it, when the repeater powers this block, it will also power the block below it. So then you put some redstone there, and then that's how I'm currently getting the signal to go through and drop down. Now at the same time, if we do this, the signal is also going to this block, which can also power this. So that's basically doing the same thing as both of these going into the same block. So that's how I got it to do, or to be 1 wide. I'm sure someone else has figured this out. This only took me like a minute. So I'm not claiming this as my own, but in case you need to use it, there it is. Alright, and then this little signal here then activates these guys, and this is the only configuration that I know to work for what I'm trying to do. This configuration, even if you put it through the negative edge detector, like this one, if it's set up like this, it still will not work. So, yeah, command blocks have kind of failed here. Well, at least the new command blocks have failed here. Doing them this way, the old way, still works. So that's why I have an X here, because that one doesn't work. This is the original way that I tried. X doesn't work. This one, X and an O, because it works, but it just counts backwards. And this is the one that does work, so this is the O, it's good. And then this is the negative edge detector going through the old way of doing the command blocks. So, now that we've got all that, this is going to be data bit 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're just going to go through and count this a little bit. So, first one turns on, right? Then, what the hell? I think the sun's switching position. Why the hell aren't you working now? Dude. This is gonna freaking piss me off. So, for some reason, if these things get locked open, like they don't want to work, which is another bad thing about these stupid command blocks. There we go. Okay. So then that would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, really? And this one is stuck open too. So annoying. And basically all I'm doing is I'm just resetting these command blocks. So annoying. So I think when I go through here, because this button and this command block just resets this whole line to quartz, I think I'm going to have to put another one in here that resets all of these, their data field success count, whatever thing, to 0, so that way they all reset. Because otherwise it's just really, really, really annoying. Okay, let's try this again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really? Really? Dude, I had this working. Like, what the Dude, so many headaches, you have no idea. I spent like 6 frickin' hours working on this thing yesterday. And it doesn't work. Why are you breaking? You're not reading anything. Everything is off, right? That's not reading anything. This one was reading something. I don't know. So annoying. And it doesn't work again. Awesome. I don't know. I don't know. It was working last night, unless it's this one that needs to be reset. You know what? To be honest, I have no idea what these X's and O's do. I'm just like flipping them and hoping that something works. I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Because it seems like what I did to make it work last time was to flip some of those to, I don't know, X's or O's or something like that. So annoying. So if you ever try to build Yeah, there. No, it's actually fucking working. So something with those X's and O's in these things is like one of them needs to be set. I think this one needs to be set to an X or something in order for this to actually freaking work. Oh my god. Let's see if this one works. Hey, it works. Okay. So I don't know. There's something with this button here. Something about this button here that either makes it work or not work. I think these are all set to O's. And then I think all the ones on top. Oh, that one's set to. Hold on. I'm just gonna try this and see what happens. It's probably gonna break again. Okay. So I've got these top ones set to X's, I've got this bottom one set to O's. Let's just reset everything, I guess. And buttons that don't work. What the are you doing? So annoying. Okay. Odds are because this. No, you know what? I don't even know why that did that. That's just some weird stuff that's going on here. Okay, so that works. Second one works. Third one works. Okay, I need something faster than this stupid button. Alright. Okay, fourth one works. And the fifth one breaks. Awesome. That one's set to an X, this one is set to an O. Let's set that one to an X and see if that works. Okay, I'm just gonna call this video here because there are obviously some freaking bugs in this and I don't know what the hell is going on with this. But, okay. As far as the build is concerned, this should work, but it doesn't. This should work. It does, but not all the time. And then there's something about the X's and the O's. You have to have them set up. I don't know. So I'm going to continue to play with this and get it so that way it all works, I guess. And then move it into some final location and then never, ever, 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 ever touch it again. Because this is just a freaking headache right here. Alright. So this is Zero, showing you some issues with the command blocks. Yeah, it's annoying. And it'll give you a headache. So if you ever have to do a binary counter with command blocks, don't. Just find some other way to do it because this is ridiculous. It's what it is. It's ridiculous. Alright, so I will see you next video. If you happen to like me getting all frustrated and getting a headache, potentially a migraine on this video with this stupid thing here, give it a like. If you want to see me get frustrated and get more headaches in the future, hit the subscribe button, and then I will post new videos. Hopefully I will have a program counter that works, because you kind of need one in a control unit, because otherwise the processor doesn't work. So this is something that I absolutely do need to get done and make it work. Alright. Bye.